Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Small Farm by ABT FrankyY. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Small Farm by ABT FrankyY. This little bad mamma jamma is 26.31 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. You betcha, you betcha. Now, like all of our map tours, we are going ahead and starting this gameplay off in new farmers mode. That way you know exactly what you'll get if you do start in new farmers mode. And speaking of that, let's see what you get for equipment. All right, everyone, starting off with your equipment, you get two tractors here, one Case and one Massey Ferguson, not too shabby. This you do not get. This is something I bought so we can travel around on the map. Trailers-wise, you start off with one trailer. Plows, you start off with one Pottinger plow. You start off with one disc harrow, harsh, not too shabby. You start off with one Nordstein seeder. Front loaders, you do start off with a front loader for each one of your tractors, not too shabby, and you start off with pallet forks and a universal bucket for your front loaders, so that is not too bad at all. Guys, not a lot of stuff, but as you'll find out, you don't really need a lot of stuff on this one. Let's go take a look at the map. All right, everyone, this is your map, and as you can see, you have a lot of fields rocking and rolling around on this map. Not too shabby at all. When you do start off, you actually do start off with all these animal pens on here, so you do have that going for you. As for a lot of the other things here, you got some manure heaps. I believe there is one sell point right here, the farm shop, so you got that going for you. You do have your store and just your other standard things. This is actually a very, very small map, just to kind of give you perspective. It's very, very close. You're not going to be rocking and rolling with big stuff on this one, but let's go ahead and take a look at the farmland. Now, starting off, you get this one large section right here, and this is actually a couple different sections. As you can see, there's one section right here, there's another section right here, and then you have this big space in here. So kind of be aware this is actually 4 different plots right there. You do start off with field 2, and then you do start off with a combination of field 10, 11, and 14. That's all one. Now, taking a look at the absolute cheapest, if you want to get a plot of land on a budget, you'll go ahead and get field 7, coming in at $15,000. On the very opposite end of that, you're looking at field 25 coming in at a whopping $43,000. Oh man, but the most expensive plots on the land is this one right here, where you get all of this stuff on here. You got your shops and the majority of the other things coming in at $89,000. Other than that, it's cheap. It's cheap. It's small fields and small prices. It really just does make sense, guys. As I said before, there's not a lot to this. It's a small map, but just because it's a small map doesn't mean that it has small fun. All right, everyone. One thing I'm going to go about doing here is I'm going to go ahead and turn on the map down in the corner so that you guys can kind of follow along with me as we go through this. Now, as you can see, guys, your farmyard, you actually have more space on here than you really do. You got yourself a silo, you got places to store things, you got a power washer, you got a fuel tank, and you got a house. I mean, what more could you want other than a dog? You betcha, you betcha. Not too shabby at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to wander out the main yard here. There's your main selling point right here. Not too shabby. A nice big silo up there. Pretty darn slick. Pretty darn slick, if you do say so myself. Heading down on this way, you end up with some more of these buildings. What do we got here? You got your cow barn. So you got all this, and it is the most expensive cow barn, so you just mix it and let the machine take care of it. Not too shabby. You have your animal dealer over here, and then you do have your big store animal dealer and shop. And you have tons of room. So if you want to, you can buy, oh gosh, boatloads of trucks here, and you'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're just going to drive around on the map. Now, forewarning, guys, one of the things that I like to do on my map tours is I like to drive through the fields. That way you guys can go ahead and get a better sense of the land, a better feel for it, if you will. So what we're going to go ahead and do here, as you can see, field sizes, not big. I don't even know if you would want to play with large equipment on this map. I suppose you could cut down these trees, plow everything together, but I don't know why. I just don't know why. The land is pretty darn flat. No traffic, as you guys could see. There's not much for roads. But, yeah, I'm thinking obviously you don't really need to do much with your horsepower on this map. Pretty much, if it requires 100 horsepower to operate, you only need 100 horsepower to operate. There's no hills, there's no anything like that to try and cope with or anything. You're fine, your money. Just go ahead and get yourself out there and get yourself rocking and rolling. You do have narrow roads right here. Let's turn that off. You do have narrow roads. All the roads are very, very narrow, so you're not going to be able to come out here with a 10, 12 meter header and just rock and roll. It's not going to work here. And driving on the roads, I should say. Anything else, though, you pretty much can rock and roll. Guys, this really does look like a nice map for using small equipment. It really does have a nice small time feel to it. But before we go ahead and get ourselves too much on that small feel, let's fly up into the air and take a quick little peek and see what this one looks like from up above. All right, guys, let's go ahead and fly up into the air, and don't be afraid because that's it. that is the map. You know, you take a look at this one and it's small. It really is small. But if you guys have ever tried to go ahead and play on a little bit larger map or just a larger map in general and try and use smaller equipment, it's doable, but sometimes it almost feels slightly overwhelming because, you know, you have these larger fields, you got larger prizes to go ahead and get and accomplish, but you know what? Something like this seems really, really nice and seems like a great idea for really just using that small equipment. You probably could go ahead and use 1 meter plows all day long on this thing and be fine just because of the size of it. It really does feel like a nice, like a hobby farm almost. I think that'd be a great way to describe this, almost like a hobby farm that you got going on here. It really is pretty neat compared to the size, you know, it really is pretty neat. You wouldn't expect that. You really wouldn't expect that. And you know what I would really like? I'd really like it if you guys go ahead and smash that like button. Oh my gosh, hit that subscription. It really helps the channel out a ton. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this map. Does this seem like a great map for doing small equipment or what? Ooh, you betcha it does. But still, comment down below. Let me know what you guys go and think. Go ahead and share this with somebody who likes hobby farms. You betcha. And guys, until I see you rocking and rolling out there with a 1960 whatever the heck it is tractor, loving it, smelling the fumes, jiggling everything to get everything rocking and rolling, guys, thanks for stopping by.